In this Webflow tutorial, I'll teach you how to create a CMS Pinterest-like masonry grid layout, which I've done a tutorial in the past with the same premise. However, this is all done CMS. So this is a fantastic way to showcase a multi-image CMS field, and it allows the user to see these images in a very interesting design layout, all automatic through the CMS. You'll notice some of these images are in different orientation. For example, this is a rectangle right here, and this is more taller, like an Instagram story, you know what I mean? So this automatically does all the calculations, and on top of this, no custom code is needed for this at all. So let me show you another example website right here, MJD Projects. I'm currently building this site. Again, this really works well if it's some sort of like photography site where you really want to showcase the images and the images speak more than any words. So in this case, it's only just a 2-column layout, whereas the example website was a 3-column layout. So another thing I also done, and you can also do because you guys are Webflow developers, is we can click into the image and it opens it up in a Lightbox effect, again, all native in Webflow. And if you really want, you can caption the image to describe what that image is, all done natively. Further to this, because we're building this in CMS, the client can easily update these images, and on top of that, they can easily arrange or rearrange the order of the images. So without further ado, let's build this in Webflow. All right, guys, so firstly, before we build anything in Webflow, we have to understand where we're at. So right now, I'm actually using the exact same project I did for my CMS filter tutorial. This specific tutorial is almost intermediate, so you have to have an understanding of how CMS works. Thankfully, I've already created a tutorial for you guys, one on just how CMS works by building a simple blog post. The other one is using an attribute, FinSuite, in order to make a filter. So I'm building off this specific site, but just know you have to have a Webflow CMS knowledge and you have to have built a CMS item. So in this case, it's just showing a bunch of restaurants right here. And if I go into my CMS items, you can see I have a CMS called restaurants with 7 different restaurants right here. And the one that I want to be editing is KFC. So if we actually go into our pages right here, you'll notice I have CMS collection pages, and I'm going to go ahead and hit restaurant templates right here. And you'll notice I've even put a banner image to pull in the name, the short description, and the background image. So let's go ahead and import our multi-images. So right now I have all these images of KFC items, and I'm going to make a multi-image field and slot them in. You'll notice with these specific images, they're actually of different orientation. So I did this on purpose. This is the great thing about this, is it automatically resizes everything. Some images are very long, some images are very tall, some images are very jacked and, you know, kind of misappropriation of the KFC logo. And do you guys think the KFC guy looks like a stick man as a side tangent? Because that's what I see, you know, like, I don't know if you guys see that, but that had to pass the design stage. Anyway, side tangent. So I'm going to go ahead and export all these images in a new folder called KFC and save it on my desktop. Obviously, I strongly encourage you guys to optimize your images to make them appropriate aspect ratio, which I've done a tutorial in the past. So right now, back in Webflow, I'm going to go ahead and go into CMS, and I'm going to go ahead and go into my restaurants and go into settings right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a multi-image field right here. And just note, multi-images field only allows for up to 20 images. You may have a question like, oh, hey, Derek, what if my client wants to add, 100 images? Well, I'll answer that question towards the end of the video. That's right. There's a solution for everything, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and hit multi-image, and I'm just going to go ahead and call this gallery. I'm going to go ahead and hit save field right here and hit save collections. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit the KFC one that I created, and I'm going to go ahead and drag in my image in this gallery field. So I'll go ahead and open up my desktop, and I'll go into my KFC folder right here, and I'll go ahead and just drag in the first 20 images. Because like I said again, the multi-image field is limited to 20 images. So I'll go ahead and drag this and slap it in. And you'll notice from here, the client can technically easily just rearrange the order by just dragging these specific images where they want. So you can see I'm rearranging the order. But because we're doing that Pinterest masonry style, sometimes Webflow automatically calculates what looks best according to the height and width. So another thing you'll notice here is we hit this 3-dot icon, and we can go ahead and hit edit alt text. And this allows us to caption the image or provide an alt text for SEO, which I will make a tutorial, or I pretty much made a tutorial in the past, I'm sure. So in this case, we might call this KFC bucket LOL, you know what I mean? That's it, we hit enter, that's done. And obviously you'll do this for all your CMS items, but let's say that's it. I'll hit publish now. And now I'm gonna go back into my CMS in-depth page right here in my CMS collection, and I'm in the specific item KFC. We can go ahead and hit the top button right here to switch between view pages in this collection, and this shows us all the CMS items. And I want KFC to be selected because that's the only one that has this image field. So next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna want a full width image similar to what I showed you in the start of the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add a section, and I'm gonna go ahead and give this a class of section, and I'm gonna give it a combo class of gallery. And perhaps I want a padding of just 1%, that's it. Well, I put 15 by accident, but I'll put 1%, and I'm gonna go ahead and just add this everywhere, right? So the next thing I wanna do is just add a collection. So collection list right here, I'm hitting Command E and typing collection list, but you can also hit this plus button right here, scroll down and find collection list right here. So I'll just drag it in. And in this specific wrapper, I'm gonna go ahead and change the source to pull in the multi-image gallery field right here. And once that's done, everything is just stacking on top of each other. So I'm gonna go ahead and expand this specific list wrapper, and I'm gonna go ahead and select the collection list right here. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a class of CMS Masonry layout, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave it as display block, but I'm gonna scroll down into typography, which sounds crazy, right, guys? This is like ultimate Webflow hack, wobbly. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit more type option, and right here where it says column, I'm gonna go ahead and determine what column I want. In this case, I want a 3-column layout because it looks pretty sick. So I'll just put 3 and hit enter. You can put whatever you want, and you'll notice this does this really cool thing. The next thing we want to pay attention to is this 3-dot icon next to columns, and we can go ahead and change the gap if we wish. So the gap is the spacing between the top and bottom. So I might put this as, let's say, 16 pixels, right? And that's it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add Lightbox, but if you don't want that Lightbox effect, you don't need to do this, obviously, but I want it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add a Lightbox right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and link the media to show the gallery. And then I'm also going to give this specific Lightbox link a class of Lightbox, and I'll go ahead and give it the width of 100%. I'll leave the height to be auto. And inside the Lightbox, we have the actual image, so we can go ahead and type in, CMS Lightbox image as the class, and we'll go ahead and give this a width of 100%, and we'll go ahead and hit this gear icon and pull in the specific gallery image, and there we go. The masonry layout is automatically done. You'll notice because we put the gap at 16 pixels, it's important to select the Lightbox in this case, or my case, or even the CMS item right here, but I'm gonna select the Lightbox and give it a bottom margin of 16 pixels. That way everything is even. Now if I expand my screen, you'll notice it's literally done. Pretty easy stuff, right? Just keep in mind these images are very low resolution. But if we click into this jacked KFC guy, you'll notice it only opens up this jacked KFC guy. So what happens if we want to link all of this together in a Lightbox? Well, that's pretty easy. All we need to do is select that Lightbox, go into settings right here, and we'll just give it a group name. And because this is already a collection, it's going to share the exact same group name. That's all it is. So perhaps I'll do a separate tutorial on Lightbox. But in this case, I'll just give it a group name of KFC Jack Dude. And because this applies it to everything, if I republish the site, you'll notice if I open up an image, it actually has all these CMS items right here. So the next thing we need to think about is responsiveness. It should be pretty straightforward. I'm gonna go ahead and go to tablet, and maybe I'll say this is okay, La. I'll go into mobile landscape, and now it's time to get type, right? So we can either scroll down, go back to this column and hit the 3-dot icon, and maybe we want to reduce the gap, let's just say to 6 pixels to save more space. We also want to make sure that we adjust the bottom margin to 6 pixels as well if we want everything to be consistent. That looks good, but then on actual mobile phone, 3-column is pushing it. I think even 2 columns is potentially pushing it, but we'll go ahead and change that layout, go back into the columns and just put it to 2 columns. Great, fantastic, everything still works. Super easy mobile responsiveness, no? All done. So we can just call it a day. It's literally done, guys. But if you want to add more than 20 multi-images, there is a way to do this. And this is a bonus tip. It's using FinSuite attributes, CMS Combine. Super easy stuff, especially once you know how. So this specific script from FinSuite allows you to combine 2 CMS fields. Let's say, for example, the multi-image field, which has a limitation of max 20 images, to just come into one collection. So you can effectively make 1,000 images if you really want. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll go ahead and copy the script right here. we'll go back into our Webflow project and we'll go ahead and go to the CMS template page settings and we'll paste this code into the header right here. The next thing we want to do is go back to the document, and all we need to do is just follow instructions. So with the list, we'll go ahead and give it this specific attribute, copy with the value list. So we'll go back and we'll go ahead and select that layer of the list right here. We'll go ahead and hit settings and we'll go ahead plus and put the name as this, and then the value will go back to the docs and copy list right here. And this is telling you exactly what to select, collection list right here. So if we go back, we'll paste it. I know I selected the right div because in a collection list, there's usually the wrapper, then there's the list, and then the item. I just renamed the list to be this, CMS Masonry layout. So make sure you put it in the right div block, essentially. The next is to just give it a attribute. So FS list combine, we'll go ahead and copy this, and we'll go back, and we'll go ahead and paste this. And then with the name, we just give it whatever name that we define because we're Webflow developers. So I'll just give a name of KFC, and that's literally it. Now, if you scroll down where it says combine list, this is how we combine the list. All we need to do is just make sure that all of these attributes are the exact same name. That's literally it. There's nothing crazy. Just the value is the exact same. So technically, I can just duplicate this specific layout right here. I'll copy C and paste it just below that. And I'll go back into my CMS and I'll go into restaurants and I'll go into settings and I'll add another multi-image field. And I'll call this one gallery number 2. And then I'll go ahead and hit save collection, go back into KFC, and I can go ahead and add my other 20 images right here. Sorry guys, I said 20 images, but it's actually 25 image limit. So that's my bad. So that's a lot of images already, but in case you need more, I can go ahead and select the other images and paste it into the second gallery. And you'll notice it says 5 out of 25 images left. This one says 23 out of 25. So I'm just telling you, once you reach that 25 limit, this is how you can exceed it. So now that's done, I'll hit publish now, and I'll go back into my canvas. And with this duplicated CMS layout, all I need to do is just unlink everything. So I'll disconnect the image, and I'll go ahead and disconnect that image right here. And I'll go into my CMS collection that I duplicated and change the source to be gallery number 2. And then I'll go ahead and relink everything. So I'll select the media to show that, and then I'll go ahead and change the gallery to show this. You'll notice because I duplicated this, it actually has the exact same group name, KFC Jack Dude, which means it'll all show up in the exact same Lightbox component. Now that's done, you may notice there might be some weird gaps or anything, but that's okay because this specific plugin will automatically fix that gap. So once I publish the site, and I'll go ahead and just preview the site, you'll notice it's actually showing 2 CMS collection and merging them into one. Super cool stuff. Expand the image. It's sharing the exact same Lightbox as well. So really hope you guys enjoyed this video. This specific effect, like I said, will be fantastic for very situational uses. Most likely if you really have a really nice image layout. And the reason why it's so powerful is that it automatically calculates the difference in the height, and it has this really interesting design for CMS. Let's go ahead and take a look at this jacked KFC guy while I do the end slate. So thank you so much guys for watching. My name is Derek Su. I'm a Sydney-based Webflow developer and web designer. I also make many free tutorials on my YouTube channel, so definitely check out my channel. I also have paid courses. One is on Webflow. If you guys are beginners or intermediate and you really want to excel your learning and understand the fundamentals concepts, I have a paid Webflow course you can check out in the description. Otherwise, I also have a freelance course where I teach you all the things that I wish I knew when I first started out. Things like invoicing, things like how much to charge, and business knowledge that people don't talk about. Marketing, business development, accounting, sales, finance, etc. So really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a like and comment. It really helps me out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one.